Hello and welcome. I'm Sachin Brahme with Avaya Serviceability Engineering. In this video, we'll see how to use the Escape General Recall feature in Avaya Proactive Contact. Escape General Recall is a new feature introduced in PC 5.0 and later releases. This basically lets the agents move to other jobs and not worry about the recalls that they had placed on the previous job they were working on and which are going to be called out sometime in the day. Prior to this feature, let's say if a job has finished making all calls, the supervisors had to keep the agents sitting on the job for taking the recalls they had set on this job, which was obviously leading to loss in agent productivity. With this new feature, now the agents can move on to their next jobs, and when the recall time matures, this original job can borrow the agents to take the recalls, and after the recall, the agents are again moved back to the job which they were working on at that time. This feature is applicable to only the agent set recalls, also called as general recalls. It is not applicable to the agent owned recalls. Now let's check how to turn on this feature. I am on the editor application and I have a job outBND open. Under the outbound processing section, you will see this setting for shutdown job when no more calls remain. When this is turned on, the escape general recall settings are automatically turned off. There are two of them. The first one is auto assign recall from infinite job to agents on another job. And the second one is the name of the job to get the agents from. Although it says infinite, but it works for all jobs where the shutdown job when no more calls remain is unchecked, which is a setting for infinite jobs also. This is because for the agents to be able to move to other jobs and still take recalls from their previous job, the previous job needs to be running even though it has called out all its records. So if the shutdown job when no more calls remain setting is turned on, the job will automatically shut down once it has called out all its records, even though there are recalls pending on it. So let's uncheck this setting, and you will see that immediately the escape general recall settings have now become active. So to turn on this, check this checkbox here, and it will ask me for the name of the job from where it can borrow the agents to take the recalls. So I'll click this drop down box here. And let's say I'll choose the job test. Once done, you can save the job, and from the next time when the job runs, it will take these settings. So what this means is that when the job outBND is started, and let's say the agents working on it schedule callbacks on some customer records for a later time in the day. For example, if the outBND job was started in the morning and the agents scheduled callbacks for the same day evening. Now let's say by afternoon the job outBND has finished calling all its records it had picked up. Now the agents will log off from this job and join other jobs, and one of those jobs will be the job test that we selected. And at the time when the recall was supposed to happen, the job outBND will borrow agents from this job test to take those recalls. And mind you, the job outBND needs to be running. It will not shut down on its own because we had unchecked the setting for shutdown job when no more calls remain. But you should also make sure that you don't shut it down manually. If the job shuts down, the recalls won't happen obviously. Now what if the job test has shut down for some reason, or that too does not have any agents? So now the job outBND won't be able to borrow any agents. We can change the job to something else real time from the monitor application. So I am on the monitor application and you can see 3 jobs running here. And as you can see, the job test is not running right now. So let's say I want to change the name of the escape recall job on the job outBND from the job test to one of these jobs that are running currently. So if you do a right click on the job, you will see this option for escape general recall. If we click that for the job outBND, you will see that it is set to the job test currently, which is what it picked up when it had started because we had set it that way from the editor. So I can change it to one of these jobs listed out here. Let's say I'll change it to job outBND. I'll click that and say OK. Say yes to confirm. And it has been set to job outBND 1 now. If I do a right click again and I go to the same setting, you'll see it has changed now to job outBND 1. And just a small troubleshooting tip, in the info.stat file of this job on which you made the real-time change, you'll see this change processed with this line saying escape recall job and the job name it was set to. So this way you can check if this was changed real time or not. Similarly, you can set this for a job on which you had not set this through the editor before starting it. For example, for the job outBND2, this setting is empty currently because nothing was set for this job from the editor. So you can set it to one of these jobs listed here, real time. Also, if you want, for a job which has set this to a job already, you can blank it out using the first option in the list, which is a blank. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video. For any questions or feedback, you may write to us at mentor@avaya.com or at Avaya Mentor on Twitter. For more details and other technical information, please visit support.avaya.com. Thank you for choosing Avaya.